start getting a little bit brainiac here. We're going to take a look at two functions that deal with logic. We'll do some lookup a little bit later in the course when we get to advanced functions. I want to talk about two different functions that we have available to us. The first one is choose. Now, choose has value in that you can use it to pluck out from a list depending upon the variable that you have. So the formula looks like this: equal choose, comma, the value that you want to look at, and then a list of the possibilities. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say equal choose, left parenthesis, the value is right next door, comma, and then you have different values. Well, I'm going to say 100, comma, 200, comma, 300, comma, 400, comma, 500, comma, 600, and then close the parenthesis. So there is my list. Based on that, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. So it happens to be 100. Now, all of these are not cell references, so this is all variable. It's a relative reference. And if I go down the list, now here's what's interesting. If I change that to a 6, when I press return, watch this number right here. It changes to 600. You can actually have it do math in here. If you want to say, if it's a 1, then 2 times that number, and then I need to do a whole bunch of them, but you get the idea. It's possible to have a whole array of math problems in there, and do that. The other one that I want to do, when I first started programming, we had a command that was called if then else, which meant if this is true, then do this, else or otherwise do this. So you have an if command, and then you have a condition. Is this greater than that? Is it less than that? Is it equal to that? This condition, and then if it's true, then you do this. If it's not true, you do this. So we have some employees over here, and they only get benefits if they work more than 20 hours a week. Well, this middle person didn't work 20 hours a week. So if I'm going to put an if statement in there, I'm going to say if that, and I'm going to say is greater than, well, if it's greater than 19, because if it's 20, you don't want to say greater than 20 because then it would be 21. So I'm going to say greater than 19, comma, if, okay, what do we do if it's true? Well, that value. If it's not true, 0. That's basically the nature of the beast. So now that formula, and I can drag it down. But we needed to go over here and make this a absolute reference because that place doesn't change. So now when I drag it down, boom, this person doesn't get benefits, this one does. If this one person works 21 hours, boom, they get benefits. If this one goes down to 19 hours, boom, they don't get benefits. To take it to a practical level for a teacher, let's say, for instance, that if the students turned in all of their assignments, they would get a 10% bonus. So we can do an if, and we can average these out. If the average of those, if the count of those is more than, is 4, equals 4, then the total of those times 0.10. So you get the idea of, you can use if-thens. If the count is 4, and that one right there is 4, then average those. Actually, you would want to average them and then give it 10% and times the average of those. This would not come up to a count of 4, and that would not come up to a 4. So this score would automatically be increased incremented by 10%.